Welcome, everyone, to the 2016 Legends Anonymous Roster Draft. I am your esteemed host, Dr. Legend, and joining me, as always, is your illustrious co-guildmaster, Marcus.
Thanks, Doc. We've got an exciting event planned for you this evening. All of the stars and studs of the greatest guild in the realm of Azeroth have gathered here tonight for our first draft.
That's right, Marcus. Our beloved guildies have been waiting for this moment for quite some time. With the Legion season quickly approaching, Legends Anonymous needs to get a head start on their raid preparation.
And with that being said, let's take a look at the 12 teams guild members will be playing for this tier.
All right, let's go to the board. Hailing from the frozen wastelands of Northrend, our fan favorite, Lich's Bitches.
The Death Knights made a huge impact as the very first expansion team of the World of Warcraft League.
Indeed they did. Vastly popular and powerful during the Wrath of the Lich King season, Lich's Bitches proved to be a force to be reckoned with. They're strong, tough, and bring enough diversity among their specs to be a widely sought-after asset throughout every season they've been a part of.
Let's see if that same mojo can help out our next team. Risen from the charred remains of the Black Temple, please welcome Azeroth's new expansion team, Better Glaive Than Sorry.
And it couldn't come at a better time either. Demon Hunters are arguably the most sought-after class in the World of Warcraft, and their presence is known to all guilds far and wide, whether they like it or not.
You are correct, Legend. Illidan Stormmage's popularity is second only to the Lich King himself, so when his favored class was announced, you know the nerds will come running. They're speedy, agile, and relentless in combat. However, the only two specs at their disposal, their longevity may come into question in later seasons.
And speaking of specs, we can't overlook the team with the most varied specializations at their disposal from the Sacred Lands of Moongate. Give it up for the Hermaphrodruids!
This is a legacy team. They're the jack of all trades. Druids have got all the parts to fit into any skin and a raid time and fill a vital role.
And with Legion opening up all specializations to each class, they will become a highly sought after in all guild drafts. If you got a hole that needs fill in, they're ready to slip right in.
Speaking of sought-after roles, there's no team more popular last season than Trollin' for Furry Booty.
Legend Anonymous is no stranger to hunters in our raids. Their performance during each tier would be a key factor in our completion of each raid and serve a valuable purpose.
Now, with 3 unique specs at their disposal, including a new melee spec, it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep up with some of the big changes coming to their other teams.
No one more stranger changers than our next team, coming all the way from the floating magical fortress of Dalaran, is The Port is a Lie!
Mages play a key role in all raids since the first season of competition. After receiving the heroism buff in their standard list of spells, they have become a staple in all raid teams.
They're amongst some of the most trustworthy damage dealer. Having a class that brings that kind of consistency is a measure of success for all guilds, both new and old.
Reliability is a highly sought-after factor. However, one team has skirted in line in the last 2 seasons are the Kung Fu Masters themselves, hailing all the way from the misty land of Pandaria, way of the Drunken Pissed.
There's a lot of controversy surrounding this team amongst. As the previous new expansion team, they brought a lot of versatility to guilds. Unfortunately, their numbers have varied heavily between seasons, and their popularity is considered lackluster at best.
We've had some heavy hitters on the team in the tiers past, but with the new specializations in some of the legacy classes, it'll be tough to tell who will be joining this team, and if the big guys at Blizzard can convince anyone to stay.
Though they share similar role specializations, there are no one far greater and more respected than our next team from Light's Hope Chapel itself. Give it up for the Douchey Pallies!
Paladins are a staple. They're reliable, consistent, and ready to take care of business. Now with Ashbringer at their disposal, the popularity of these holy warriors is sure to skyrocket.
Unfortunately, it took a few seasons for them to find their proper balance between all these 3 specs. They had it rough in the onset and struggled to find their place in a raid, but now they are as needed and vital to every guild composition.
And no one knows more about vitality than our next team, hailing from the mighty Chapel of Stormwind, Legends Anonymous' first collective guild group, Team White Power.
This team set the standard for all other teams. Priests were the only class versatile enough with 2 unique healing specs and made their presence almost mandatory for all guilds from competitive to casual.
Discipline was the prevalent spec of choice for most seasons until now. Holy has stepped their game up and stepped out of the Disc's shadow as a premier healing spec. Their healing game is still strong, and Shadow has finally stepped into the light by bringing a unique take to ranged combat.
You better watch your back, hunters, mages, and locks. Priests are coming out of the gate swinging this year, and speaking of sneaking up on you, no one is better suited to this devious task than our next team from the Fortress of SI7, the Backstab Boys.
You'd be hard-pressed to find any raid team throughout every season without a rogue in their midst. This was the damage-dealing class of choice for some of the best and brightest Azeroth had to offer.
That's right, Marcus. Though they were challenging at first, rogues have come into their own with 3 unique specializations to kick off this season. No longer are they at the whim with the weapon in their hands, but now they're only limited by their imagination.
Fortunately for them, they do not have to covet one of the greatest treasures of all of Azeroth. Our next team will be coming out swinging with the Doomhammer on high. Please say hello to Kalimdorn's own Anchorholics Anonymous.
Shams have a big weight on their shoulders now. They got to carry the burden of the Green Jesus since he pussed out this season.
They've got their work cut out for them, that's for sure. Though they bring a lot of uniqueness to any raid, and are part of guilds will be hard-pressed to find anyone willing to toss aside the artifact weapon for the other 2 specs. Finding balance between the 3 will be a big challenge for any guild.
Challenging specializations are the name of the game, which leads us to our next team, coming all the way from the depths of Argus itself. Please give a warm green fire welcome to No Haram, No Fel.
It's always been a struggle for warlocks to find their own spec identity. With 3 options to choose from, most players have found themselves sticking with one and leaving the other 2 catching the incinerated dusts of their enemies.
Legends Anonymous has felt the struggle of recruiting steady warlocks in our roster. Uniqueness is the name of the game, and with the challenges brought forth this season, we could find a stable home for this class once and for all.
And finally, our last team, very near and dear to my heart, found everywhere within an earshot of a tavern or a brawl. Say hello to the most legendary group of combatants. Come out and rage!
Whether it be their first season or the last, you couldn't raid without a warrior in your group. They put the class in classic. Known for their brute strength and fearsome battle cries, any guild worth their salt has at least one of these in their roster.
You can't go wrong with their damage in either arms or fury, and prot warriors change the tanking game for the better each and every season. Now with the tools and animations at their disposal, they're going to be a popular choice for this and future seasons to come.
And now that we've got the teams introduced, it's time to go to the board.
Each team has their own column for signups. When guild members step up and take their announcement, their names will be added to the board underneath their respective team's logo.
And as you can see, we've got a few members of Legends Anonymous that have decided to extend their contracts via the grandfather clause. Even though they have already made their choice, these guildies have decided to come out and support their teams.
Checking out the initial list of returning members, Anna has decided to stay with Hermaphrodruids. Though she started out as a rookie towards the end of our Warlord season, after a lot of hard work and training, she has grown into her own and become a valued member of the Heal Team 6.
Very true, Marcus. However, no one has been more consistent with their class and spec than Bright Eyes. We all knew he was coming back this season, and of course he was going to play a hunter. He set Azeroth's record for having at least 7 of them sitting on his bench.
If you want to talk consistency, the Port of Zulai will be a tough nut to crack with now that Carteller has re-signed.
His performance last season was off the charts. All other mages stood in his Scottish shadow now that he returned to claim his crown once again.
He'll definitely have a lot of targets on his back, but thankfully he'll have one of the best members of Heal Team 6 watching his back.
Andraste extending his contract with the Douchey Palais this season is huge. Most of the members of Heal Team 6 will be parting ways during the opening tier of Legion. Having someone with a tried and true record as Andraste will keep the legacy of that beloved group alive.
And speaking of keeping things alive, crawling out from underneath the box of uncertainty, Bougie returns to Team White Power to reignite his legendary group.
And how, Marcus? Team White Power has been the most volatile of all the teams in this membership. We've had 4 guildies end their contracts abruptly mid-season, and another one has decided not to re-sign at the start of Legion.
But with Bougie back in the main roster, you can rest assured that he'll bring the DPS and honor to this group when it appears to be lacking the most.
And speaking of main roster returns, we couldn't be happier to have Smashbox extend his contract for another season.
Smash is a beloved member of the guild, webmaster and our first raid commanders. His presence is inspiring and morale will be high for trolling for furry booty now that they have an all-star in their midst.
And now that's all well, we have our renewals for this season. It's time to get the festivities underway with the Legends Anonymous 2016 Draft!
Let's get it on.
To get things started this season, allow me to introduce our very first draft pick of Legion, Andric.
Jake's a big-time player, 3-time Leggy Award winner and council member. He's got the skills and knowledge to make any team top tier this season.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I believe we were all shocked to hear Andric leaving not only the way of the Drunken Pest, but also his beloved Teal Team 6. However, wherever he decides to sign, that team will be hard-pressed to be dethroned this upcoming tier.
Andric has reached the podium. The crowd has grown silent. Let's see what the big man from Indiana is gonna hang his hat this season.
So, after much deliberation, going back and forth between Alcoholics Anonymous and Lich's Bitches, I'll be taking up the jersey of Alcoholics Anonymous as enhancement Flex Resto.
Wow!
Oh, what a big announcement! That is a shock! I don't believe it. Can you believe that, Marcus? No one expected him to go Shaman.
Unbelievable. I am just stunned here. The crowd is stunned. Unbelievable.
This is a monumental moment for Legend Anonymous, the #1 draft pick, making history here tonight. And it looks like we're ready for our next pick. Who will that ever be?
Now taking the stage, the most legendary priest in all of Azeroth, your co-guildmaster, Dr. Legend. Consistency is synonymous with legendary. Dr. Legend has proven time and time again that when he plays a class, he sticks with it. Even through all the droughts Holy has suffered throughout the seasons, he's never shied away from his favorite spec. However, he has been very tight-lipped about where his loyalties lie in this upcoming tier. Will the leader and founding member of Team White Power stick with his team, or is there another place calling out to him? Dr. Legend, take the podium. 2 minutes for your pick.
Thank you, Marcus. I have prepared a statement. Beloved members of Legend Anonymous, my dear friends at Heal Team 6, and the glorious group of Team White Power, I come to you today with a heavy heart. Over the past 8 years of my career, I have dabbled in many classes and specs, some purely out of necessity, and others because I've simply enjoyed the choice of weapon and attire. However, those who know me best understand where my heart truly lies. For years, I have stuck with the Holy Priest. As a founding member and president of Team White Power, I have stuck with this class through thick and thin. When others have had the discipline to stick with the better optimized specialization or stayed in the shadows of their ranged DPS counterparts, I remain loyal to my roots as Holy, no matter how well they play during the season. But if you know truly who I am and how I play the game, you know that I don't just play a spec simply because it's good. There's a unique opportunity available that no other legend has dared to grasp. I have to go to my heart. I have to stick to my guns. I have to go back to where I originally started. That is why here on the grand stage before the greatest guild in Azeroth, I announce that Dr. Legend will be signing as a Retribution Paladin for the Douchey Pallies this season. Whoa. There is going to be a rain on the Legion's parade this season, and I, the Ashbringer, will be wreaking havoc as the sole wielder of Legends Anonymous.
Oh my god.
This is awful.
World Ender.
Oh my god.
Ret Paladin.
Unbelievable.
Good lord.
More like wrecked paladin.
Oh my god.
That's right, kiddies. That's where I lie, and that's where I'm gonna stay.
Holy shit.
Wow,
Wow, dude.
Two
I
in
hope
a
you're proud of
row.
yourself.
Real, in that order, I would never have seen that coming.
Shit has hit the fan.
The board has been updated.
Dude,
And here we
need
go.
another
Next on the
priest
list,
now.
none other than our beloved Zelgadis.
Thank you, guys.
The first member of Legends Anonymous to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. This kid is going to be turning heads no matter what team he signs.
He's the captain now.
That's right, Marcus. While he is dependable in any given raid, his consistency has become the subject of much controversy. I don't know about you, but the rumor is Zell's a bit of a spec slut.
Bouncing around from Hill Team 6, the DPS group has left a sour taste in most guildies' mouth. The big question is not Zell leaving Alcoholics Anonymous, but which role will he ultimately choose?
The fate of Heal Team 6 rests on the Shaman's next words. Zell's about to approach the podium. Let's drop over to the main channel for his exciting announcement.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. No pictures. No pictures.
There weren't going to be any.
I think I can summarize everything in a little poem. Roses are red, and shamans are blue. I've played Resto since BC, and now, fuck you! I'm going enhanced. So if you are joining If you're joining Team Dark Blue tonight, I want you to howl it up at the end of your speech. Because just like the great shaman Big Papa Pump says, howl if you hear me. Ow!
Wow.
Jesus.
We heard him tinkering with the idea of switching in hands throughout the season, but now the decision is made. Zell is now DPS, but for how long?
Up next is the final council member of the draft. Let's hear it for the Leggy Award winner for Best Canadian Failure.
You'd be hard-pressed to say anything bad about Daryl. He's the epitome of a Cinderella story here in Legends Anonymous.
Failure skyrocketed from the ladder of Raider to council member within a single tier last season and is now a pivotal role as the Raid Commander.
He came to us on the backs of the Port is Alive, but this free agent has been clamoring for something new.
Any team would be lucky to have him. Let's go to the main stage and see where Failure is going to lie. Failure, you're up 2 minutes to the window.
So for old time's sake, and I know because Zell will never do this, time warp, and I will be going Blood DK.
Ooh!
Oh, here we go!
Whoa.
Failure going to tank!
Wow.
No one saw that coming.
Yeah.
Wow. What a surprise.
Wait, shocker to me.
I can't fucking believe it.
Having a council member and raid commander in the tank role is going to be huge. He's got the reliability and dependability to stick it out through the entire season. All right, next up on the podium, none other than the angriest man in all of Azeroth, your co-guild master, Marcus. Marcus is a big heart and an even bigger voice. You can't go in one raid without hearing him mouth off at someone, whether it be boss or his own fallacies. He's proven to play a pivotal role in all Legends Anonymous successes, but not without a bit of controversy. Marcus spent each tier playing on a different team, so his loyalties to each will be called into question. Whatever you do, don't expect him to sign a contract extension at the end of the tier. Who knows where he'll end up at the end of this season. We tune into the center stage as Marcus makes his announcement.
Everybody quiet down.
Everybody quiet the fuck down!
Everybody calm the fuck down here, okay? Because this year, Marcus is going to be reigning havoc. Demon Hunter backup tank number 1.
Woo!
Whoa!
For Lord Eldon. Well, we're not going to progress now.
Whoa. Well, he's been talking about it all season. Knew he was going to sign with the expansion team. Let's see how well they hit this season. And next up on the roster is our beloved Wiggs.
Wiggs is a beloved member of the Legends Anonymous team. He came into the guild just after the start of the last season and has been solid and consistent with his performance as a main tank.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he prematurely announced his retirement just a few short weeks ago. The debilitating time injury will have to seat him on the tanking bench for the next season.
That's right, Legends. I'm curious to see where Wiggs will take his talents this year.
You won't have to wait long. Pope is approaching the podium for his announcements. Let's tune in and see what the big man has to say.
Well, as you guys know, I spent all of last season with the douchey Pallies, and I really feel like I led them to all their victories. Androsti wasn't that great. Thanon sucked. I don't want to be on that team anymore. So I'm going to bring my talents to Ankh Beach and play Resto Shaman.
Out of nowhere! Pope goes from taking the damage to healing it. Joining Heal Team 6. Resto Shaman, now Alcoholics Anonymous, 3 strong at the get-go. Who'd have saw it coming?
That is incredible. Out of all the classes, I would have not have picked healer for Wiggs. Holy shnikes.
Well, let's see how it works out for him.
Rip pre-draft show.
Next up from the roster, the venerable Gran Mumper.
I like Granny. He brings some great DPS, and he's the Hermaphrodites are lucky to have him.
Best rainer, aren't they?
However, his raid awareness is a bit lacking. If only his grip were as strong as his fangs.
Very true. Though Granny didn't extend his contract with his team, that will see him signing somewhere else this season. After all, it's not likely he'll be doing big things in the Holy Monk community.
Hello, everybody. Gray Bumper here. Obviously, you guys know I only like to do one thing, and that's oh shit. I'm here. Sorry. That's all there. All right.
Nice. You nailed
So-
it right there.
Grady is going Kitty.
No
What? Shocker.
What?
The announcement
What
is
a
official.
fuck.
Gran
What a
resigns. Who didn't see that coming?
Blown away, Gran.
Well,
We can't.
We're going to call him Grand Loyalty Mumper for the remainder of this year.
help.
Walking down to the stage next,
Falls off the legend died.
Tim Horton's own, Not Your Pal Guy.
There's a lot to love about Pal Guy. He's knowledgeable and focused when the fight starts.
Yeah, but we need to watch out for his antics during the timeouts. Some of his puns have derailed many a pull and set a bad precedence for some of our younger talents.
You can't say he's pushing them in the wrong direction.
All right, enough. Pal Guy has reached the podium with the mic in hand. Let's see where he signs this season.
So, hey guys.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
Hi.
So,
So, waffling back and forth for, I don't know, months. And I think I'm going to go with my gut and just go Survival Hunter.
Whoa!
Whoa! All right then.
wow.
We've got ourselves a melee hunter and the first. Let's see what Pal Guy is going to do in these ranks when he's waving a stick at everybody face to face. He's
Coming up next is Mr. Lucky himself, Serene.
I've got to hand it to this kid. He's got a real rocky start in the middle of last season. His rate awareness was questionable, but during most encounters, but he's really coming to his own.
It's hard to find anyone with such unique talent that won a Leggy for both Best DPS and the Standing and Fire Lifetime Achievement Award.
He's definitely a hot free agent and who's likely to shine with any team he signs for. The only thing second to his damage output is his heart.
And with that being said, Serene has arrived on stage. Serene, 2 minutes to the window.
All right, guys. I believe it is time for me to come out and rage as the Protection Warrior. Why Protection Warrior? I will tell you why. The Legion is coming, and they are going to bring the pain. Someone has to protect our fleet of operatives so they can do their jobs and save Azeroth from the greatest threat anyone has ever seen, and that someone is me. I have a unique way of dealing with pain, focusing my rage into powerful vengeance. With this fleet of legends at my side, we will form the ultimate shield to absorb the Legion's attacks and send a shockwave through their ranks, bringing upon them the heaviest of repercussions. Now, what do I bring to the table? Let's put it this way. As much pain as the Legion is going to bring, they've got nothing on me. I bring an indomitable, inspiring presence. I am the darkness. I am the danger. I will lead this charge. I will protect our army, and we will go down in history as the most legendary guild on Azeroth. Are you with me?
Big
I hope
announcement!
Legion. I hope there's no platforms.
And with that being said,
Postscript.
the tanks
From
are
you guys.
set. The
got
tanks
ourselves-
are now set.
We got a full tank roster, and it's a diverse group. I'm curious to see how well this is going to go with Failure and Serene heading up the damage this season. Uh-oh. Do you hear that sound, Marcus?
entered your channel.
Do you mean that unified march of 1,000 prideful soldiers through the streets of Europe?
That can only mean one thing. The indomitable F-Shack is making his way to center stage.
There's a lot of good and a lot of bad to be said with this free agent. He made his mark in Legends Anonymous as part of the Douchey Pallies, but has since taken his talents to many other teams during the offseason.
The word wildcard comes to mind as well. F-Shack may have a broad reach when it comes to team selection, but his renewed loyalty to Legends Anonymous is unquestionable.
I would say he's walking to the stage, but it looks like he's goose-stepping, so F-Shack, Then, and Hayden, whatever, 2 minutes to the window.
Alright, so after the death of Harambe, I had to do some serious soul searching. Sorry. I hope you guys can appreciate some onomatopoeia, because I think this sound will help you figure out which class I'm playing.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Wolfpack Elemental! Backup healer.
We've got our first range shaman coming to the board. Hallelujah!
Squeeze.
This is a big announcement. Then has been bounced around from class to class, spec to spec, all off season. Now he's signed as a damage.
Did you say backup healer, Danny?
I did.
And that does it for the flex healer spots.
Boy, I'm glad I've got a paladin to heal myself up during fights. I don't know if I can trust that guy, but we have confidence that no matter where he goes and what he does, he'll do a good job. Coming up next to the stage is Chariariar out of Florida.
Char's got a great background. He came in hot in the middle of last season and kept the pace going without losing any momentum.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Marcus. He showed a lot of poise and has consistently stuck with Lich's bitches throughout thick and thin, proving once again the sheer stopping power of that devastating team.
He's definitely come into his own. We almost thought we lost him at the end of last season, but he came back a few months ago ready to assist in thwarting the Legion invasion.
Char's taking the center stage now. Will he remain loyal to the Lich King, or is he looking to take his talents elsewhere? 2 minutes to the stage. Char, the floor is yours.
So my grand entrance is ruined by this last 10% of this fucking loading bar. Here we go. These stitches are starting to fucking hurt, so I'm going to keep this short. There's one thing better than an Ashbringer and one Frostmourne. It's 2 Frostmournes, Zordons. I'll be staying Death Knight. But might be on hold.
Oh, here we go. We've got our first Melee Death Knight re-signing with Lich's Bitches. Exciting news for that popular team.
The Teflon Don himself, Shakota, has dug himself out of the snow-infested wastelands of Minnesota and is walking towards the podium now to make his announcement.
There's a lot of love about that Oregon Trail motherfucker. He's young but mindful. The kid knows his limitations and tries to improve upon them with every pull.
And speaking of pull, I hear his horse and buggy out just outside the arena.
With all the strings in favor he pulled to join us at BlizzCon last year, some may say he's the MacGyver of hitchhiking.
Shakota fought hard at the same event to wrest control of Doomhammer away from Zell. He's arrived at stage now. Let's tune in to see where the Rookie of the Year will be taking his talents next season. Shakota, you are up 2 minutes to the window.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'll keep it short and simple. It's no surprise that I'll be sticking with Elemental Shaman for Alcoholics Anonymous. I can't turn my back on the Wolfpack, guys.
The Wolfpack, 5 strong, out the gates, and we're not even halfway through the roster draft. This thing is turning into quite a surprise, huh, Marcus?
It's been incredible. I think we've had quite a few shockers.
Just like your mom.
Whoa!
Oh! Shots fired.
And next up on the list is Tone Loc, the big bad Destrolock out of Florida.
Tone was a big mid-season pickup for Legends Anonymous. He brings a lot to the table with raiding experience stemming all the way back to Molten Core.
He definitely brings that consistency that we're strive for during raids. Though his attendance as of late has faltered in the past, we can definitely count on him to be a strong presence wherever he shows up.
There's a lot to love about him wherever he signs and will have a great asset for the oncoming season.
Tone's approaching the podium. Let's give him the floor for his official announcement.
Testing. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
You don't need to respond. Don't worry about it. Anyway, with careful and extreme consideration of my family, friends, and most importantly, my fellow guildmates, I will take my talents to Team Backstab Boys, returning to my true calling to help this forgotten team get over the hump and return their former glory.
Uh-oh, the Backstab Boys have signed their first member.
My name is Serene, and I approve this message.
What do you think of that pick, Marcus?
I think it was pretty clear. He's been playing Rogue a lot lately and spending a lot of time at their class order hall. They were whining and dining him.
Oh, have they now? I thought stuff like that was illegal. At least that's what F-Shack told me over drinks last night.
Huh?
All right,
the sun is setting and the sales have ended. A whiff of fresh matzah is permeating this arena, which can only mean that Mormont has arrived to take center stage.
Seth is a young talent that came to us late last season that left more than an impressionable mark on the guild with his bark instead of his bite.
But the hat's off to him. He's been training hard in the offseason and stepped up his game to compete with some of our bigger guns on the roster.
I heard he even bested Granny once in DPS.
Don't ever lose to him because he'll never make you forget it.
And how? You better be on your toes when he's on the roster because this kid's shaping up to do big things this season.
All right, guys. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So I just logged in, thankfully. So this should not be any surprise. I put a lot of work into this class and spec specifically, fallen in love with it, and I think it is my duty to make sure that the Illidari and Lord Illidan are given the proper respect that they so helpfully deserve, and we have been awakened once again for our purpose to defeat the Legion, and it is with that I am proud to affirm that I will be taking my allegiances as a Havoc Demon Hunter for the Illidari!
Only because their mount is a dog.
I can't believe he's going Mistweaver.
Oh.
wow.
Well, Seth's signing is huge. He's been practicing. I hear he's been doing a lot of off-season training. He's getting ready for this moment. I'm excited to see where the kid's going to go, especially with some of the new training he's been going under.
Now approaching the stage is one of our newest free agents, Manifesto.
He joined Legends Anonymous at the end of last year, but he hasn't let the lull slow him down one bit.
Right, you are, Legend. Festo has made his presence known throughout our downtime and is ready to take on a new season with his head held high.
Not even Granny's gross liberties with his name could put a rein on his parade. Festo is pumped and ready to show us just what he can do on the field of battle.
I'm curious to see where this hot young talent will be playing this year. He's arrived at the podium now. Let's listen for his declaration. Manifesto, you are on the clock.
What's up, guys? Looking forward to raiding with y'all, and I'm going to stay the same. I'm going to be a fire mage. Been a mage for 11 years. I'm looking forward to progression with y'all.
The big guy signs. The time warp is out.
You gotta let it burn.
Oh, those pyros.
The chart has been updated. We have a second member of the Port is a Lie, and they are stronger for it.
Let's take a quick look at our depth chart here. We've got one backup tank spot left, 2 healer spots, and plenty of DPS.
You know, I was considering taking the backup tanking spot myself, but I wanted to open the floor to some other legends who are willing to fill that role. However, I will put down the Ashbringer, if need be, to help our guild out this season.
I like how you still did it in the announcer voice. That was nice.
And here we have next on the list is another hot young talent, Raji.
Raji's made a big impact during the off-season training sessions. He's smart, focused, and a proven threat to anyone thinking they're taking permanent residence on the top of the charts.
The Port is a Lie has got a strong game going last year, and if Raji resigns, it could spell trouble for all other teams.
Everyone's going to have to work hard, or else they'll be caught in his arcane shadow.
Unfortunately, Raji could not be with us today. He's out nursing a real-life obligation, and we're here to announce his pick for the Legion season.
Raji's pick will be range DPS Mage.
Woo! Woo! What are the chances?
Those mages will have a powerful ally on their roster, that is for sure. Let's update the chart.
Chart's been updated in case you guys haven't seen.
Uh-oh, the board is filling out quite nicely.
Walking up to the stage is another big off-season pickup, Kraz.
Kraz is a man of good talent and even better taste. He signed with Legends Anonymous at the end of last season and after listening to our podcast.
The man has shown great poise and allegiance, sticking with us throughout the drought as we quickly approach next season.
There's a lot to love about him. He's got a good mind for the game and lore, which is more that can be said about some people. Still looking at you, Seth.
And Kraz has stepped up to the podium. Let's go to the field. Let's hear his announcement. Kraz, you are on the clock.
Okay, well, I talked a pretty huge game about the Frost Death Knight, but I have decided to go Unholy Death Knight and also grab up the second backup tank slot.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another delicious bitches, and the backup tank slots have been filled.
Woo! Woo!
There's got to be a big coup, and knowing that we're just over halfway through the roster, we filled up most of our backup positions. It's got to make us feel good, huh, Marcus?
Oh yeah, all the backups are filled. We've got 2 healer spots left and plenty of DPS.
All right, he couldn't be with us today, but the next person up to pick is Weakness, the Lowell veteran from Ohio. Oh, he's here! Where have you been hiding?
We'd love to see more of him next season. Wherever he ends up signing, we'll have a great asset during their initial raid tier.
I'm curious to see just which team he's going to play ball for. Let's go to the stage and tune in for his announcement.
Weakness, you're on the clock.
Well, if I could find you guys, I'd be there.
It's okay, you can just say it through TS.
Oh, I know, I'm right here. Well, most of you guys know me. All the new people, hi, I'm Weak. I was a enhancement shaman for most of the raiding. I started out with the guild as Elmite warrior. My passion for years has always been tanking, but those are filled. I'll be here if needed for that backup spot too, if those are needed down the road. So,
He brought his daughter to the draft.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovable?
I brought one of the kids to the draft.
Keep
And,
Festo away.
I am going to switch from the shaman to the warrior, Fury.
Oh, come out Rage! He's got his second member! He's going to bring some big hits and some even bigger numbers to that team. I'm glad he signed, and I'm glad to see Weak back in the game. Welcome back, Weakness.
Woo! Thank you, thank you.
Drafting next is the veteran Lumnock out of Georgia.
Loom's got a great mind for the game. His wisdom and experience is highly sought-after asset.
He was a strong competitor early last season, was sidelined due to other commitments.
It's great to see him back stronger than ever, and he's going to bolster any team's roster and make them a much bigger threat this season.
Lumnock's taking the stage now. We're watching our main monitor to hear what the veteran has to say. Lumnock, you are on the clock.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'll keep this short and sweet, as this year's draft I am protesting the Tom Brady suspension. So, but with no other choice, I am going to continue on with my Boomkin.
Oh,
yeah!
Finally a Boomkin.
Someone had to.
We got a Boomy signing up for that third Hermaphrodruid slot. And with no one else to take the tanking mantle, it looks like they're only going to have 3 parts this season instead of 4. Coming up next, out of Mid-Earth himself, the young kid out of Michigan, Legolas.
He's a great young prospect. Started off in Mists of Pandaria. He didn't get it bogged down by all the talent tree nonsense of previous expansions.
It's hard to find young guys like him that come into the game and stay strong throughout the droughts.
Picking him up from the waiver wire was huge, and he'll be a big asset for this coming season, and that's for sure.
Legolas has arrived to our podium with a microphone in hand. Let's see where he decides to hang his hat.
Legolas on the clock.
I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, and Marksman Hunter, boys.
Oh!
Congrats.
Trolling for Furry Booty's got its 4th member, catching up to Anchorholics Anonymous. Legends Anonymous bolstering the Hunter roster once again at the start of the tier. Exciting news coming out here today for Legends Anonymous.
Next on the list is Frozen Beefalo, one of our early signed members last season. However, he will be offline drafting this year.
We picked up Frozen during the first tier of content, but unfortunately he was sent down to the minors due to unforeseen circumstances.
Here to announce his offline pick, Frozen Beefalo selects Demonology Warlock, range DPS.
Alright.
Hello, no haram, no fell has his first member.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I worked really hard on that name and icon.
It's awesome.
And walking down to the stage now, one of our own veterans, Mr. Evil Cat himself, Alain.
He showed a lot of promise early last season, but he unfortunately had to cancel his contract at the end of the second tier.
I would have loved to see what he could done at end tier progression, but thankfully he's back this season, bringing his bold attitude and even bolder transmogs.
They say his tunes have less to wear than third world inhabitants, but their lack of clothing is only dwarfed by their raw, powerful, and uncanny charisma.
It's good to see Alain back in the game. Let's see where he ends up signing as he approaches the podium.
Evil Cat, 2 minutes to the window.
Well, I put a lot of thought into what I'm going to be doing this year, and after a lot of hardship and deliberation, I decided to go with my true calling of
What is he gonna say?
Blood Elf Stripper.
Yeah. What a whore.
I don't think we have a team for that, but we'll put him on the list anyways.
But failing that, I will of course be going Havoc Demon Hunter.
Oh, we got a third Demon Hunter!
Welcome to
That's
the
a
team.
big announcement! I didn't think we were going to have any others, and Alain comes from the backfield.
Look at all those monks.
For the old Alright!
Yeah, what's up? Look at all these mugs and all these warlocks and all these priests.
Oh man, it's exciting to see we're having some robust class fill out this tier. Exciting stuff going on, eh, Marcus?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy draft. Stepping up to the stage next is a young rookie sensation, Nova.
Nova's got quite a unique
Nova,
story.
Nova.
She was actually scouted from another game entirely from our very own Grandmumper, and a few short weeks has really opened herself up to our loving community.
It's not that hard to be candid when you've got Gran as a mentor.
Did you say candid? I think you meant corrupted.
Either way, Nova brings a unique presence to the guild, and she's sure to continue to make an impact as the season continues. She's arrived at the podium. Nova, you are on the clock.
Oh, hey.
Hey!
Yes!
Hi.
Hello.
Trash. Ugh.
So, I think I'm going to play Resto Druid if you guys will have me. I
Excellent.
saved plenty of you guys' lives as mercy. I think I can do it again as a Druid. Just, I need gear.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah.
acquisition.
Resto.
Another member.
Okay, bye, guys.
Another member of Heal Team 6 has been filled out. Here we go.
That's 4 healers solid now.
4 healers solid. We're going to have a 5th at the end of this draft. Who knows? Let's see. We still have a lot of draft left, boys and girls.
Is that 3 druids and a shaman?
Now coming to the stage is one of our new prospects, Noble. The kid has future all-star written all over him. He has a great mind for the game, but an even better personality.
Noble's definitely been turning some heads as he's already made his mark in the community in such a short period of time.
I'm excited to see where things go from here. The future is shining bright for him, and any team that signs him may just go all the way.
Noble's arrived at the podium, is about to declare his team allegiance. The stage is set. Let's tune in for his announcement.
Noble on the clock.
To keep it short and sweet, we need a leap of faith for Gran, so I'm gonna go Holy Priest.
Whoa! Team White Power gets its next
He'll
member.
always find the cliff.
I have left the big shadow, but I'm sure Noble will be able to fill it. That didn't come out right.
Jesus.
Or did it?
That was super weird.
Or make something come out right.
All right, I think we're time for our next up. Who's up, Marcus?
Our next draftee for Legends Anonymous is Gotti.
He comes recommended from one of our own heavy hitters, Carteller. If he can't put half the DPS Cart can, Gotti's going to be a lock for Rookie of the Year.
He's definitely proven in the offseason to do just what he can do. The Port as a Lie has brought a strong game and will continue to grow even stronger with guys like him on the field.
Soft-spoken but hard-hitting, Gotti's going to make the Burning Legion his bitch next season.
And also doesn't have Pandaria flying. What the hell?
He's up on the stage now for his official announcement. Let's tune in for his word. Gotti, you are on the clock.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay!
I will do double the DPS from Carteller.
Yeah.
And I will actually play the Windwalker Monk.
Whoa! We got our first member of Wayne the Drunken Pissed! And a bold declaration from Gotti! He's got his eyes set on Cart. He's coming out swinging.
What's a Windwalker monk?
Fists of Fury will be flying. Legion, watch your ass.
Holy shit.
All
Dude,
right.
that's amazing. Oh,
What a drop. What an
Windwalker
announcement. And coming up next is another newly signed free agent, Boost.
This guy comes highly recommended from our very own F-Shack. Take that as you will.
He definitely comes out swinging during spring training and has measured up quite well amongst his peers.
Maybe Team White Power is more of a home for him than just a WoW team.
And we still love him all the same, but unfortunately, Boost... Oh, is Boost available today?
Boost is here! And it's his birthday!
Hey!
Happy birthday to you.
You get your second pick.
Boo, no.
Books, we're ready for your announcement.
I'm gonna play Rogue.
Oh shit, I fell into the arena.
Knows what he wants.
A fitting place for any friend of F-Shack, if you ask me.
What's back?
So are you going to be a pirate or a different kind of douchebag?
Alright, who do we have next on the roster?
Now walking down the stage is Jabona. Actually, Jabona will be offline drafting.
Oh, really? I like Jabona. He's got a good head on his shoulders, solid rating experience, and knows how to play the game.
Yep, and here to announce his pick, Jabona's first pick will be Shadow Priest.
All right.
TWP gets another member. They are growing in numbers, but they're always just as awesome. And finally, the last member on the list, one of our big hitters from last season. Ever, please welcome Silver Reaper.
Hey guys. I'm not a man of very many words. I would love to stick with my Death Knight and play Unholy. I know that she didn't come much as a shocker.
All right. Got him.
There you have it. The stage has been set. The die hath been cast. Silver Reaper signs with Lich's Bitches. And finally, we return to the board to see Legends Anonymous's completed 2016 draft.
Woo!
And we got some big surprises this draft, boys and girls. I did not think Alcoholics Anonymous was going to be as robust as they are, but they are the strongest and biggest team this season. They've got 2 members of the council, a former tank, F-Shack, and the man himself, Shakota, manning out that roster.
And if you guys check the roster depth chart, it looks pretty. We've got, yep, all the tanks are filled, backups are filled, healers are filled, flex are filled, and yep, DPS is stacked up.
Wow, we've got some exciting stuff going on this Legion expansion. For Marcus, I am Dr. Legend. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the 2016 draft. Give yourselves a round of applause. Legends Anonymous!
All right.
Go team!
Awesome! Johnny!
I love turtles.
I love Eldon.